Alex Ansary here. I am your emotional support human. I am here to support your spiritual and emotional growth as you deprogram from the New World Order. There's coffee in the back. We have decaf tea and some organic cookies as featured on the Tim Pool show, which cost $7 per box. One day Tim Pool was bragging about how much money he makes. Shout out to Aaron, Gunner, and all you Tim Pool fans, how much money he makes. You know, how he and his wife spend thousands upon thousands of dollars on food every month. Wow, really sounds like a man who is being replaced by foreigners. But yes, folks, I am on board the great replacement theory from a non-extremist, non-white supremacist perspective. Because even those of us that are non-whites in America, that are Christ followers, are being replaced by non-Christians from other fucking countries, and it's fucked. And I literally had to move into hell on earth to understand what one of you people were trying to wake me up to years ago. You just got to understand and respect me. If you want a man to be like caring about every friggin' racial group on the planet, it's going to take some time to understand the depths of the oppression that's coming. But don't be offended when people share their life story. I'm going to talk more today about the farm. Thank you. Thank you very much. There have been no emails from the uncles. There have been no emails from anywhere else. And let's just say if my old friend in Portland wanted to reach out to me and go, bro, stop what you're doing. It's no bueno. He can make that call and go to a secret underground location and go, doot, 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 doot. What's Alex's email? Doot, 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 doot. Hey, bro, cease and desist. But I'm doing things in my heart to go, bro, we need to have this age of revelation, because what I feel intuitively right now, Miyagi's about to touch Daniel's son in a very inappropriate way. You know, I got the comedy folks running through me, and I'm not going to stop it. That's why I said, bro, I'm not going to do videos for a few days. I'm just going to be offline. And then a few minutes ago, I got a nice email, and I'm like, no, just do your daily videos and get offline. Don't respond to emails, or a few. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you what I told Patrick, because there's no secrets when it comes to emails. Thank you for the donations that you've sent. Don't ever take it personal that I'm just talking to you when I say certain things. But maybe I'm not, I don't want to use the word triggered, but I'm reminded to communicate in a healthy manner so that people know I am trying to be positive. I do appreciate your donations, even if it's like $3. But when I do get upset about a lack of it, it's not because of one person. It's because it's usually the same person. When I was spoiled by the A-Man, when the A-Man took me to Excalibur Comics and said in 1992, when they came back into our lives, basically, go grab whatever you want. And it was my 13th birthday. And I did. And I grabbed Superman 75 for $20. And now I'm ashamed of myself. I don't know if you're out there watching A-Man, but I am so ashamed of myself as a little boy for not understanding how hard you work for your money, and how I just went to town as a 12-year-old. And I would say, in reflection to that this mother could have taught me a little bit more about money before I was 12, to have appreciated that day in which you bought me those comic books. This lady didn't teach me to respect money, period, or about money and saving money. And so the second somebody starts throwing money at me, I think they're rich, because I was poor in a rich man's house. I was living like a poor little boy with my mom on child support with no job in a opulent home that her parents built. So I was taught poverty consciousness, and so sometimes I have what you would consider to be a mental instability when it comes to money, and I seem angry. It's because I grew up in poverty, and my grandpa, although he did some nice things for me, and we'll talk about that, he, Bruce, Phil, they also did not want or did not even try to teach me how to actually work on my hands, with my hands, the way they did. Maybe some white men, though, do have a genetic disposition to be, like Searthforthetruth and my Uncle Bruce, MacGyvers with cars and shit. They know what they're doing. They have like this innate, it's almost as if they're, no offense or anything, but they have like a almost part cyborg soul. I don't know where that's coming from, but it's almost as if like the Nagel family was abnormally gifted with technology. And I don't really sense that rubbing off on me, but I do understand solar flares pretty well. We're going to bounce here on topics, folks. I hope you're cool with that. We here on Earth have this spiritual technology going on where we get this life-giving solar energy into us, and some people Like, I don't know how many of you have felt the really strong carnal. Admit it. You don't have to admit it to me, but you know I'm right. Where maybe if you self-pleasure, you got to release. Otherwise, you're going to go down to the strip club or you're going to be into a other situation. I'm telling you, if we had Craigslist back in the day, like it was, I would be on there getting mine, if you will, as a human. It's because of the AI algorithm that they make it difficult to meet decent women. The current dating sites I consider to be satanic and garbage. And I suspect that they can suppress you if AI doesn't like you, that the algorithms can suppress your face and make sure that you're not seen and trying to pair you up with the race that it says that you are. So I got on one time like 6 months ago when I was feeling the strong feelings and saying, you know, I really don't think that I should consume adult content moving forward if I'm going to be exposing the NWO. Better for me to stay away from unhealthy sexual relationships with women at this point in time until they want to develop a relationship with me, you know. And so this type of cherishing a man, I love to play music from the 70s and 80s, and so if you like my music and me talking over music and drinking and crying to it and things that I say, make sure you subscribe to Substack. I don't see anything wrong with having a few beers and letting the tears out. However, after a few beers, you can be taken over by your trauma and you can start smashing shit, and that happened to me the other day. Okay, right here in this chair while doing a video, I started freaking out at the end of the Clyde Lewis show. And so when I start doing a show and I start drinking, and I start activating that, not only trauma from this lifetime, but ancestor trauma, shit happens. And as soon as I put out that video about the Nagel, immediately there was either a psychic attack or a wave of fear. And it could have been coming from, you know, the biology that brought me to the earth. Like, oh my God, what did he say? And then once they hit play and they watched it, that strong fear, maybe I should take that video down type of energy dissipated. I do use a pendulum and I call in the fourth of power of Christ. And I say, you know, are you of the light? And there's different pendulums with different types of crystals. Mainstream Orthodox Christians say never do this, and other mystical Christians sometimes do. But I don't then go into tarot and other. What I do is I grab, let's go to my new book here. I go to a random page in a book. This was picked up at the antique store. Remember I told you about that self-defense book? VHS tape, which I gleefully shared with you recently. I love that technique where the guy gets the guy off the ground though and does the rolling, but you need to be smart and you don't want to get kicked in the teeth, bro. You want to be like, okay, now go move. It's kind of like if someone's got a bat, you're either going to get them on the end or you're going to wait till they swing and then you're going to move right in really quick because most people are going to be doing this type of thing, but a really good fighter is going to try to not overstrike. Like with a stick, it's going to be like striking the point and then coming back to a ready stance without an overextension. But the same thing with striking. If I had a physical partner to wrestle with and roll around with, these things that I talked about in previous videos would be implemented and we would do it in a safe way. And I would do it more the martial arts approach, but also embrace aspects of MMA. I'm willing to have a good teacher like the A-Man bring me up to speed, but the energy that I'm feeling, let me take that back. The energy that I'm feeling for my community, because I already went and traveled around to a few MMA gyms, and one black man was bragging about all the different mitts that he had, and I was trying to get away from him because he was just running his mouth too much and his teacher wasn't there. And then he acted like he was getting butthurt when I got back in my car and got away from him. You know, it's not because you're black, bro. It's because you're young. You don't really sound like, look, people here are kind of dumb. So I'm very hesitant to just get to know them. And I've never met someone locally that liked my channel. Now, let's move on. I recommend that what I basically do is I have like a slideshow and I fill it full of random images. Then I can set it to randomize. What I'm going to do is take a bunch of hundreds of screenshots. We can do magic. You can have anything that you desire. So forget the tarot. We're going to take random pages from books and read them. We talked about that. You saw me do it, and you do it too now. And then we're going to take random articles and random images. We're going to set it on random rotation, and I'm going to talk in an intuitive free flow. Stream of consciousness from God, really. Not so much, Molly, ooh, give me the alien download. No, I want God force energy. I don't want alien, I'm pretending to be God energy. I want the real deal. And if the original Old Testament deity is the true God, then that's fine. I know that in my heart I'm saying I have the intention to serve the true God, whatever it is. That's my intention. No, the road to hell is not paved with good intentions. This is a slogan that we have been hearing that I do not necessarily agree with. So again, I'm playing the role of Bill Olson. Bill, I don't mean to sound by bringing up images at random when they come up. Bill, I don't mean to sound harsh to you, but I did know that you liked Alex Jones a lot, and you thought that I was dumb for being spiritual, and you only like suspicious observers, and you said it was hard to help, which reminded me of the E lady saying I'm hard to love. So, Bill, even though you and I have history, there isn't a strong feeling that you actually have cared about me since leaving Portland. And it seems like when you comment on YouTube, you're just like, you're not fully present, if you know what I mean. You're not like, anybody can email me and write me a long letter about their trials and tribulations in Portland. And I don't know what it is about Portland, but it's like the people that live there have a very difficult time communicating. The one person that was sending an email described himself as an alien in the email, which reminds me of the song by the Scorpions called Alienation, which is one of my favorite songs, Alienation. But it's not a song in which I think about angels. You know what I mean? It's a song where I think about the alienation, the grace. And so when I think about the judgment from Portlanders, especially when I talk about racial issues, it feels like a gray, non-human, demonic, reptilian consciousness that wants to feed on my light and scan my data and subscribe to my newsletters, even to throw money at me if they can get data to help themselves. But when I talk about my own journey and how I came about to these understandings, then they tune out unless their balls are fondled or their clit is fingered. Unless they're going to get off in a narcissistic way, and I told you I can't do that. I can't say we're winning when we're not winning. We're not winning. However, you yourself may win in your attempts to go off grid and become spiritual, but the collective is challenged. The way of purification. We're opening at random to a book, and this book is the same book that I bought at that 33rd and Hawthorne location where I found the Self-Defense for Everybody DVD, which at one point was a very large, old school magazine store. You understand? There was a place in Portland that would sell you Time magazine from 1920. There was a place in Portland, Oregon that would sell you a Newsweek from 1971 if you know what date you're looking for a friggin' quarter. Until, of course, Portland became too popular for having that awesome energy going on. You understand? If Portland doesn't have the crime going on, if Portland doesn't have the Antifa riots going on, if Portland doesn't have the left-wing white supremacy and neo-Nazism going on and just blaming everything on the left and white men, right? If you didn't have that going on and you had like the old school Portland, it feels orgasmic. Energetically, so orgasmic you're ready to have a baby, like me, where normally in other cities the energy constructs when it happened. Remember, it was during Burl Payne's mass meditations of May 1979 that my dad and my mom hooked up at random through German class at PSU and began to do the womp 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 womp. When the cosmic forces were aligned for their souls to meet, even if both of them have a level of corruption and ancestor baggage and trauma that they don't want to look at, they were still brought forth during a solar maximum period in which intense baby-making energy created the alchemical forces that brought my existence to life. And so I'm going to have to disagree with you if you believe that all deviation from the white bloodline is the death of the white race, because my story, the Alex Ansary story, proves that. So when I step against the white genocide mythos, okay, the idea of genetic diversity creating the death of your Western civilization, you're attacking me and everything that I built. And it makes sense to me why Doug Owen of blacklistnews.com deleted all my archives, along with the co-founder of the largest neo-Nazi website on earth, the Daily Stormer. That would be Lee Rogers, who is friends with the Andrew guy, who was personally brought back and promoted by, guess who? Elon Musk. The same Elon Musk that promotes anti-white violence. So you're a special kind of stupid if you're defending Elon Musk. Just Elon Musk allowing stuff to be shown doesn't mean it should be shown. You have a lower than average intelligence in soul voltage if you think that it's healthy for everybody to be watching extreme gangbang rapes and beatdowns. And that's what's happening on Twitter. And so when I made the prediction that in a occupied America, before the video started getting super crazy, I predicted to your face that shit would get crazy on Twitter when we're occupied, but we're not occupied yet, but we are by spirit of evil. That's different. And so like India, Mexico, all these videos of, say, brown people basically sacrificing their own is sad. It needs to be talked about, but it can influence the content viewer who's watching things through the screen, who's not physically there, to then develop a bias against that population that they are not fully human at present. And they all have the same line: what's going on with the people of India? I'm asking the same question. But when I ask the question, I actually want an answer. You know what I mean? I actually want to do a pod. Hey, you, come here. I have a question for you. What is going on in India? Well, I don't know. Okay, let me ask you another question. 2 months ago, I was on Twitter, and there weren't any videos about, like, Muslims being, like, there were videos I saw of Muslims getting their ass handed to them in India. They were pretty violent, but it was like a trickle. It wasn't like a wah. Okay, Elon Musk is showing the truth. Okay. So are you saying you want Elon Musk to put out content that's going to inflame the Islamic world, to commit terror attacks in the U.S.? I mean, think about what you're saying, bro. Think this through. He's showing the truth. He's showing the truth. Do you think that we need to be inflaming the fucking Muslim world at this time? It's a question. Do I have to put up a poll on the community tab of OTBTV to ask you a question? Should Elon Musk just be allowing all types of extreme violence to be shown because you think it's, like, truthful and stuff, because you've been, like, conditioned from Antifa versus Donald Trump supporters fighting in the street and the UFC, and so now it's just like, it's violence, it's nothing. It's like, literally, the next step is gang rape of American white girls, with people cheering in foreign countries while foreign troops say, we're getting back at America. Like, all the signs are there, folks. If everything I ever warned you about, in my understanding right now, everything I ever fucking told you was true, and it's coming for you. When I look at those videos on Twitter and I see that level of anger and darkness, it's not race that I identify. It's a consciousness. It's an evil. It's an evil in the ionosphere. And so you need to, how the hell have I made it this long without having seriously bodily damage done to me? Now, I'm sorry if I sound like I'm traumatized about it happening later, but look at what happens to godly men on the earth. But if the creator, that was random what just happened there, that image that came up, if the creator wants to extend my life force, though, I will say, fine, creator, I will not commit suicide. Okay, we're going to do this. I'm going to expose anti-white racism at a level that I've never done before, but talk about it from a spiritual perspective that does not result in anti-black sentiment. I can talk about being attacked by blacks and not be racist, but black people today don't understand that. At least if they're in Portland, they don't get it. In Portland, you can't expose a black person assaulting you and be seen as above a white supremacist. Okay? You need to understand the original white supremacists in America are in places like Portland, fucking Oregon. That doesn't mean that I'm a right-winger. I think that when I put out a video and I'm megaphoning Antifa like I did the other day, of which there's 10 likes, which I'd say is pretty pathetic for a 5-hour video, just to be quite frank with you. Your inability to like it more than 10 times, yet 150 people watched it, means a whole lot of you are Antifa, basically. A whole lot of you side with Antifa. If you can't like the previous video of me calling out Antifa before Donald Trump did, you're not against Antifa, you're not for American values, you're not anti-racist, you're not a patriot, you're not against the Illuminati. If you think for a second that I'm a narcissist because I want you to not let my message die with me, you are New World Order. You are Satan. We'll go for at least 30 minutes today. And with this software that I'm using, I can hit pause, get up, go outside, get some sun, charge back up, take a break, drink some water, and back jack, do it again, wheel turning, round and round. So let's do this. Greetings from the Oregon coast, a place where I would love to be right now. But due to white power, Anna Nagel will never contact her cousin Alex Ansary and say, come on down, bro. It's time for your healing. We'll get you your cannabis. We'll get you your MDMA. We'll connect you from your long-lost uncle. We'll talk about grandma, and we'll tell you, bro, thanks for worrying about China. But due to white power, that consciousness and spark does not currently live inside the brain of my mother. To say when my mother literally visited, let's do this. Let's do this right now. Let's do this right now and show you the pictures. Let's go. Oh, Alex, please don't do that. Like, listen to yourself, nutbag. Don't do that. Yet you'll trust the government. You'll trust the CIA. You'll trust the government. You'll trust the CIA. You'll trust your iPhone. You'll trust China. But what you fear is Alex. What you fear is Alex Ansary and the audience of Alex. You don't fear the government. You don't fear, really, the New World Order. You don't fear, really, Satan. Not that you should fear. You should fear God and respect God. And I remember we're saying you should fear God to Ryan McPherson when we were drinking alcohol one day and, like, the truth was just coming out of me. Like, we should, like, respect God and shit. And he's like, why would you say that? Why would you say? And he was acting like I was some sort of, like, Orthodox terrorist Muslim for saying that we should fear God. And that's what they've done. What they've done is create this negative situation in which people think that you could just do whatever you want and not expect consequences. People think that it's love for God to, just allow what's been done on this planet without holding people accountable. And I'm telling you, that's not love. That's not kind. That's not peaceful. There has to be some sort of arrest in order to save human life. There is way, way, way too much worship of the machine in this planetary reality. And this is where a lot of the solar minimum crowd ends up in Satanism, talking shit and lies about the sun with no evidence whatsoever that the sun is dying, telling people over and over and over that the sun is dying without any evidence whatsoever to back up what's coming out of Oppenheimer Ranch and other places. They get power from putting you in fear. They get power in their energy field when they get on their channel and they dox people and they attack people and they berate other solar channels like what they did to me to drive me out of Pagosa Springs, Colorado. Meanwhile, fans of Rex Bear would watch my channel and his and never even once out of a million years attempt to hold him accountable. Now, as far as the G-Man, you want to talk and I want to talk to you too. I've had a psychic knowing that you would return to me, my old boyfriend. I'm kidding, bro. I'm kidding. I've had a psychic knowing, whether you know I'm psychic or not, that you would return to me, my boy, when the solar cycle came up, because you were in my life during the last solar cycle. And if you're a dumb fuck white supremacist follower of Stefan Molyneux who still doesn't know about the solar cycles, bro, if you believe that you are genetically more intelligent than me from listening to Stefan Molyneux, then you should be the expert on the solar flares. But you don't even know what I'm saying, do you? Because you're a dumb fuck. Let's bring up the picture of Mike Bluehair while we're at it, since he's going to come up and go. Let's pull up Michael Knight in there, the associate of Clyde Lewis. Let's put up this Yahoo here, who's a relative of my dad. Let's grab you this picture here and ask a question. Are you a bad man? Because you told me in a private Facebook message. Let's grab this guy's face, Nassad Ahad, as well, the poor man that was killed in D.C. Let's put him on blast. Here, let's add this guy in too, this fuck. Here, let's add this guy in too. Let's just take a look at all these mother effers today and just have a healthy, polite conversation about the real. Here, let's pull in this one. I like that graphic, Alex. I like the Portland demographic. You love Portland too much, and that's your fucking problem, boy. You love Portland too much, and that's your fucking problem. Okay, you need to get on your knees and fucking pray for forgiveness, because God is angry with you. And all I am is, let's add your face in here, Richard, and let's add your face in here. Here, fuck you, Putin. Fuck you, Z. Take it. Here, let's add you. Let's add you too, Sasha Dobler. You're a good guy. We'll show people that you got muscles. Let's add here Sean Nagel, Hulk Hogan. Let's leave the witch alone. Leave that witch alone. She's dangerous. Okay, let's add that one. Let's add that one. Let's add this. Let's add that. Let's just have a big fucking. Be nice, Alex. Okay, we're almost there. Where is my uncle? Here. Okay, we're gonna rock this town. Rock it upside down. We're gonna rock this town. Scream and shout. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Bada bing, bada boom. We need to slow this down. So, let's address this. Gunner, you want to talk. And here's the deal. The situation with Mike Bluehair, I'll use discretion, really, really, really angered me because of what Mike Bluehair did to me. And the fact that I saw you talking on the Mike Bluehair channel a year ago. So you demonstrated to me, G-Man, that you are still in a friendship with the person known as Mike Smith. Okay, and so if you want to actually ever hear from me again, you need to show me that you've changed. and that you've become either a follower of Jesus or a follower of God. And you didn't become a follower of God with AA. AA is garbage. You are in an AA cult. People like Micah Perry, you know what I'm talking about, defriended me and called me a cult. Mainstream media for calling them a cult, called me a cult person for calling out AA, which programs people like you to say you're powerless. See, that obsession with being powerless, Gunner, is what bit you in the ass and led you into nymphomania with the dirty, dirty women that you stick your penis in. Because there's nothing spiritual that I understand about the women that you fornicated with. And you know that, right? You know that. Whether it be the 21-year-old drunk who tapped your ass when you were a 17-year-old baby boy shooting up dope, when you threw my ass away when I told this woman, right? You know what happened. You know what happened because you were there, horn dog. And so when I know that you hang out with sleazy women and you're a sex freak and you're not spiritual and you like to program people not only to do drugs, but you try to get people to jump people in the street, and it's people like you that put the A-man in the hospital back in the day when you and your steel-toe boots can actually fight a man of Asian heritage. Let's see you in the Kumite, Gunner, with your Wing Chun abilities, with your steel-toe boots off and no brass knuckles and no boot knife. Let's see you fight, Gunner, MMA style with no weapons whatsoever. And so let me just remind you something, Gunner. Your ass was handed to you by me at Laurelhurst Park in 2009 and 10. And that feminized boy, David, ran to your offense thinking that I was going to destroy you. I wasn't going to destroy you. I was just showing you that you are not alpha. That I now, at present, and at that time, can outbox you, outstrike you. And you are wrong to look down upon me at 19, to lead me away from developing myself. You refused to teach me Chi Sao. You refused to teach me how to become a powerful striker. Like, folks, I explained to you long ago, don't make me angry. I really am being honest with you, and I really don't believe you're going to like me when I'm angry. I'm just being honest. I'm just being transparent. I really don't. Some will and will jack off to it and masturbate to it because they like the rage. But I really don't think most of you are going to like me when I'm angry, but you'll like the Passio. Whereas Passio, sometimes sounds like he's threatening to beat up his audience. So I'm just saying, you're not going to like me when I'm angry. And sometimes some of you talk to me like I'm a retard and act like you're my friends when you actually don't know what friendship is. And you're starting to upset me. I'm just being transparent. This guy coming up in the image acted like he was my friend. His name's Michael Knight. He is the content creator. Here's the rest of the story. He is the content creator of a BitChute channel that claims that he is getting downloaded information from space aliens about Donald Trump being a ascended master. Okay, and he victimized me in Portland, Oregon. And then he went to work with a guy named Clyde Lewis, and he started a podcast called The Wise Prepper because Clyde Lewis of Ground Zero Radio went to bat for this man who threatened to harm me and said that he was in a deal with people over gold, and the people that stole his gold he harmed. And he did something too, maybe even killed him. He was basically threatening to kill me in the car. The guy who was in the picture. Now we're heading towards Mike Smith. So Gunner never cared about me when I started a store and bailed. Never supported it, never talked about it. Okay? And then he hooked this guy up who's mentally unstable, who probably beat the woman that he met through me at my meetups, meaning there's a lot of vampires that hate the light. This is a guy who says he's allergic to the light, just so you know that. So I don't know what type of genetic deformity this is, but Mike Bluehair claims that he is allergic to sunlight. So he operates at night with the vampires in Portland. And I knew that when I came back to Portland in 2019 that he had astral entities attached to him. If you look at the images of him acting like the cop watcher at night, you could see that he was wearing a trench coat with a top hat, very akin to Poltergeist the movie. This individual, who's sitting suspiciously with an underage female, claims that he is teaching women under the table, under the nose of the Taliban, right around the time that he blocked me. Okay? What do you mean under the nose of the Taliban? Can you be a little bit more specific? What are you doing in Afghanistan? And why won't you tell me the truth about my father? Why won't you tell me the truth about my father's father and his survival in Afghanistan when Russia invaded? Why do you blindly say that this man is such a great man who trained the Afghan army before the rise of the Taliban, before Russia invaded, when they were respecting women and shit? When I tell you what my dad did to me, you say, well, that's just normal. Abuse is love. What do you mean abuse is love? When you say abuse is love, and I look at that stupid shit-eating grin of yours, to be honest with you, I want to knock your ass out and show you what a real man is. Because you're nothing but a little boy running your fucking mouth. You passed for white, dumb fuck. You pass for white. And that's why you have survived in the white man's world, because you pass for white. And that's why you blocked me on Facebook, you fuck. Now, if there's a single Ansary listening right now, you fuckers ought to be ashamed of yourself for what you've done. And the only reason you live in palaces and lush lives is because you suck the cock of Satan. And you all are affected by the jinn and Shaitan's whispers, just like white folks that believe the official story of 9/11 and the fake Islamic invasion meme. They're affected by the Shaitan's whispers too. You're all saving certain. See, you all think you're fighting each other, but you're actually all serving Lucifer, is the most brilliant thing. Hey, why don't you take those fucking sunglasses off? And let me see the real pupils behind those eyes. So you want to tell me that you graduated, we look at your Facebook profile, and we see that you graduated from Grant High School, and you're fucking from Portland, Oregon? And you hate me too? Okay, so let me understand this. You're Afghani, you're an immigrant, you've watched my channel, and you hate me. And you said to me in a private Facebook message that I deserved what I had coming to me at the land, because of the way that I talk. Dude, I need the white audience to look into you and see what you said to me. Like, I defended your people like from like genocide. Over and over and over and over again, I defended your people from genocide. But you're a fucking immigrant, you're a Muslim, and you never gave a shit about Alex Ansary, who's of your bloodline. You care about Tamim Ansary, who straight up attacked conspiracy theorists as all white nationalists. I don't do that, but I do recognize fake conspiracy trash. And I messaged Tamim and said, bro, I'm standing up against not only Trump, but Biden. Why do you think I'm a conspiracy theorist if now the left is conspiracy theory up the ass with Russia theories and Trump? And some of you are offended by that, and I'm telling you the Russia stuff is real with all the presidents. Some of you are just dumb, son. It's not just Obama. It's not just Biden. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. Now, this guy was murdered in Washington, D.C. last year. And when I tried to start a group to remember this man, nobody would join the group because I'm so shadow banned that I'm basically not allowed to speak to Afghanis, period. I'm only allowed to have white friends, according to Satan and God, apparently. You know, I am assuming that they are different, but some of you are obsessed with it just being one thing. So this deity that runs our world, we'll call it that, who's not the real God. Let's say there's a real God that's above the fake deity. So the fake deity, calling himself God, running around is like, thou shalt not have Afghan friends. Thou shalt not know nice Muslims that appreciate Alex Ansary standing up against genocide. Alex will be banished to the earth to crawl on his belly like a snake. And he will only have a white audience that at times gets angry with him because they do not have empathy for his real lived experience. And so you'll have an Iranian by the name of Patrick David, who's Arabic Middle Eastern, but he's not going to be confused for a terrorist because he's friends with Donald Trump. He's friends with Alex Jones. He's friends with the far right. No one of a left-leaning nature outside of the Young Turks, showing you how controlled media is ever going to get. Let's see if any of you are going to email Patrick David and go, hey bro, brown man, there's a short brown man also on YouTube. Hey, maybe you should talk to your little half-brother, Alex Ansary, Pat. No, none of you are even thinking like that. Let's connect these men of brown skin together and let's just see what type of brilliant conversation. After all, he'll talk to another brown man by the name of Andrew Tate. He's just so loving. He's just so loving. He's just so loving. Let's look at that graphic that Alienation loves. Oh, I don't like you, Alex, criticizing this left. I like this. I like the Democrats. I like the Liberal Party. I like Antifa. I like the left. So nobody likes me exposing the left and the right. It's you're going to be here or you're going to be here. And like Miyagi said, walk left road, safe. Walk right road, safe. Walk left road, middle, you squish just like grape, you stupid person. You talk too much. I think you run your mouth too much. You're a retard, Daniel son. You don't know shit. You learn from book. How come you not pretend? It's like, folks, I'm your best friend if you want to evolve. But are you trying to be my best friend? Are you sending supportive emails from the feminine last night in my inbox? Are you liking the Substacks? No, you're not. You're doing nothing. You're not even. It's just Patrick. It's just Patrick. Only one you. And then another guy tried to message me. He thinks I can give him housing. And I heard that man beat the living shit out of his white girlfriend. And do you you think for a fucking second that white woman ever looked into my field, my videos, and said that there, even though he's not fully white, he a good man. He a good man. He a good boy. She never talked to me. She never liked me, but she liked a dude that kicked the living shit out of her. And I heard this woman beat for hours and hours, screaming and threats, and the whole neighborhood heard it, and everybody was like, they're armed and I'm not. Don't tell me that I can go and intervene when I'm not armed, when you have a fucking police state. No, fuck you. It's your responsibility, America, when you have other men have the right to own guns. It's that man's job to intervene and save that woman. No, you allowed my ass to be disarmed, fuckers. Gunner Standard came in from the devil to set me up, so I wouldn't. So you're Gunner, you're gonna help Mike Bluehair, who abuses the woman who gives him shelter. So basically, Gunner, if Mike Bluehair murders that woman, bro, it's your fault. And like you may, punk! Then call me and message me and tell me you repented of what you did for Mike Bluehair. Then talk to me, you fuck. Because until then, you and I have a date in the ring, buddy. And if you think I'm going to let you go after a few seconds, you're wrong. You're going to be brought to your knees and you're going to cry. And you're going to beg me for mercy. And you're going to verbally apologize to the internet for what you put me through and that you came at me. And you're going to admit what you are as a soul. Okay, you're not an anarcho-capitalist. You're a big shot in LA working for a corporation. And you're fucked, dude. You're fucked. You need to go to Portland and collect. You know what you need to do. You need to go to Portland and collect. Like a gangster, bro. You want to run your mouth like you're a gangster all throughout your childhood and look down upon people that are legitimate gangsters that will fuck you up with one hand? You want to act like you're tough with steel-toe boots? No, dude, you created a sin before the world, and everybody is going to agree with me if I want to talk about it on YouTube. Nobody's going to disagree with me, Gunner. They're all going to agree that you are a piece of shit, and they're going to learn something from this. You are not the Superman that Adolf Hitler promised the people in Germany. You are a disease, not your race, your mentality. Your superiority complex results in anti-white violence. You're white supremacist, Stefan Molyneux, because we're white, we have higher IQ. You know you believe that because you follow Stefan Molyneux. And I'm telling you, Gunner, you are not more intelligent than me. You are genetically, intellectually inferior. I would never go to my soon-to-be-dead mother's apartment and bang a woman with prostitute money and encourage another guy to do it. Folks, Gunner, I know about sex demons. You don't. You don't know shit about the Matrix. You laughed at me, to be honest. And you were the one who said, well, if you think you know something about the Matrix, why don't you go on Access TV? And I took that as a challenge, and I did go down to Access TV and start a show. And did you go down to Access TV with me and watch the show and support me? Right? You left me for a woman who later left you, and your ass is so pathetic and so stupid and so addicted to ejaculating into that woman, which is what I heal men from, Gunner. I heal men from the sex addiction. You're sexually like, woman first, hoes before bros, and literally like burn like an effigy, your old friend, while you do what you did for Mike Bluehair. Bro, you never woke up, you never became conscious, you never recovered. You were always a little dipshit, wannabe cop, Nazi boy, right? And your kind will be exposed, so we know why China and Russia stomped on the face of America with steel-toe boots while the white women screamed, stop, 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 please stop raping us. Please, please stop killing us. It's going to be Alex Ansary that said, you need to leave those women alone because they didn't do shit to you. This guy used me, who runs survivalcenter.com. He's the guy who said, Alex, it's going to be your store and you're going to run it. And what it was really the truth is that it was going to be Mike Knight's store, who made Contact Has Begun for the man known as James Gillen. So he's connected to Rontha, and so is Richard, and so is Clyde Lewis, and so are others. This is what I call the network of anti-themism. They hate people of certain heritages, but they act like they're truthers. There was a man of Afghani heritage, and it was very rare for anyone of Afghani heritage to see me as a human being also. And this man ran a store on the corner of 70th, I believe, in Gleason, in Portland, Oregon. Okay? He ran a store. And what happened was, he gave me things thinking that I had a store next to him. He gave me tables. He gave me a very nice table from IKEA for $20, which I paid for out of my own money. Richard did give me $1,000 to spend on anything I want, but what he did is he was giving me enough money to hang myself. He wasn't really planning to pay me. They threw $1,000 at me to just keep me interested and said, go ahead and pay for whatever you want with that $1,000 and we'll reimburse you. And some of that money from that $1,000 went into what's called full spectrum lighting, because I believe to boost sales that if you put full spectrum lights, they thought I was nuts. If you Google full spectrum lights versus fluorescence, you'll find out that I'm not nuts. That having dirty fluorescent lights is going to alienate a customer base. Whereas if you have full spectrum lights, it's going to put vitamin D in there. So I spent about $1,000 that Richard gave me that could have been my money on full spectrum lights. I invested money that Richard gave me to. So this guy, he's a very intelligent man. He's very buff, but his face to me does not scream, I'm super handsome and superior. And I'm just being honest with you. So I have arms, but honestly, I feel I'm more handsome. And this person is a little bit too obsessed with refugees being retarded during solar flares and doesn't really talk about whites having problems during solar flares. So I respect that author, but I think that he is not actually the most intelligent if his books can't talk about 9/11, the New World Order, and how they create fake news about Muslims to get white people angry when there's solar flares. See, it's Alex Ansary that has that psychic intuition. This is Sean Nagel, the guy that I ran around with as a little baby, who was allowed to do naughty things as a child, whereas I was screamed at and berated by my mother. This guy was allowed to do anything with his brother, and his brother would go on to murder a moose at 100 miles an hour in Alaska, upsetting Alaskans and blaming the Nagels, literally writing articles about the Nagels, literally using phrases called the Nagels of the world. How psychic that author was. They must have heard of Bruce. The Nagels of the world? Wow. Wow. Did they get a psychic download about Bruce? This white woman on the left from Portland, Oregon, was afraid of me for telling her that my father was born in Afghanistan, even though my mom's white. And even though my mom raised me, she literally was concerned that I hated women because of my heritage. And her husband, who I came to his defense on the right there, he ordered drone attacks on innocent people. And so nobody in Costilla County cares about me or the fact that I'm ethnic. Because I'm not white, a lot of people threw me away. And I was attacked by a Hispanic author, journalist named Pennington. You guys haven't heard this yet from me. But a guy who wrote a hit piece about yours truly received over $1 million from the federal government. I think it's time you knew. There's a guy who wrote a hit piece about me who has received, I may be wrong on the numbers, but it's at least $1 million. It was a grant. He applied for some grant with the federal government. His name's Devin Pignon. And this man hated other ethnicities. And so racism is supported by the U.S. government. Aspects of Latino racism, white supremacy, and black supremacy. The problem is too many of you are just focused on anti-white racism that you don't look at the other forms of it too. You're obsessed with just your own skin and people that look like you, which is why we can't be friends. Which is why you're not my friend. This is why you don't respect me. It's because I care about all women around the world that are oppressed, and you don't. You don't care about me speaking out against women. Some of you may actually have sexual feelings for me when I play Superman or Alpha, but you actually think little of me for bringing up the fact that there's no emails but Patrick from yesterday saying, bro, good job. So Patrick, you are recognized, and I ask that everybody that believes in prayer think about this Patrick guy in California and visualize himself. I want you all to think about this guy Patrick in California, because we're going to do this again for people that are nice to me. And we're not going to show his image, but his name is Patrick, or he's calling himself Patrick. I want you to visualize this Patrick being protected by the Creator, even if he did things that were immoral in his past. Okay, none of us are perfect. But I want you to bring only good women and men into his life. And if there's anybody in his life that's going to screw him over, backstab him, just clear out that energy. Okay, and bring prosperity to him and his family. And bring him 10 times fold what he donated to me. So what has he donated to me? What, $1,000 so far? 500? I haven't kept track. It's like, 10, 20 at a time. Bro, you're the only person that's donating outside of Substack. Because the people, bro, I just want you to understand. Hey Patrick, how you doing? So people used to support me when I was off grid and see something in me. Now they don't make donations. Trevor gave 100 donation last week. We got to understand, folks, this is pathetic compared to what you did used to see in me. And so we have people that brag about getting land, having assets, having vagina to hop on their penis. Like they have children, they have these items, they have cars. But yet you're all so poor that you can't chip in a few dollars. But yet if it's Tim Pool or Alex Jones or a superstar or Trump, you're getting out that checkbook, you're giving out that money. And so, like, you need to be confronted on your asinine thinking. A lot of you, because I am emotional and I am traumatized and I am a human being, you use that against me and you act like you need a man who doesn't have emotion, who's more like a cyborg to be your leader or something. So, I don't know his exact role, but instead of you thinking that I came from Taliban, the dude that brought my father into the world sat at chairs like this and made decisions. That's the truth. I come from prominence and intelligence that I know of. As far as like war crimes and evil shit, it's the white supremacy on mommy's side. That's the less than conscious. You could say whatever you want about Islam, Muslims, but there on my father's side, the Ansary, there's poets and Sufis and people involved in higher education. What about your family? So those of you that plotted against me, that stalked me, you have a date with God. Zoe Ansary has joined the ethno-state consciousness for looking down upon the fact that I came out of the penis of the guy on the right, who was the best buddy of her dad, the guy on the left. And you know when you look at that guy on the left that he does not look that foreign, that he looks straight up Cherokee or Native American. Girl, you know it's true. Ooh, 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 I love you. Dun, dun, dun. Girl, you know it's true. Ooh, 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 I got you. It's because these Afghanis looked way more Native American and white than Alex Ansary, that they lived a good life in America, and it's yours truly who was cursed by the devil. I am a living form of crawling on my belly like a snake, but I'm not a snake. I'm in the physical form of a human being that your world believes is invading America and contributing to white genocide. You haven't healed this with me. If you have any remorse for the victims of war overseas, and you want to, reparations is basically the consciousness energy. It's not literal reparations, but it's an energy of reparations. You can heal what you did to Afghanistan by healing your broken relationship with me and working to make sure that I get housing at some point, a job at some point, or an income at some point. Or you can help me the way you help white men and women. And you don't help me the way you help white women and men in your community because you don't email me, you don't donate. If you hear me share from the heart, you don't reply to emails. You want me to be your fucking bitch. You want me to spread my asshole and let you rape my brain. And I'm telling you, the rape ends now. I said over and over and over again, and some of you just don't get it. Don't make me angry. You're not going to like me when I'm angry. What Gunner doesn't understand, what my mother doesn't understand, what the A-Man doesn't understand, what you don't understand, what Ruth Chris Steakhouse doesn't understand, what Doug Owen of Black Listen News doesn't understand, what Clyde Lewis doesn't understand is when you fuck me over, I'm not actually going to be affected by what you did to me until years down the line to where the real pain comes in. And it was because of Kyle Jacob Butler and a corrupt cop in New Mexico and Dean Bermeo that a lifetime of pain is now erupting in me. It's because of DNB from the Next News Network who worked for Gary Franchi. Gary Franchi didn't do anything to me that I know, but here I am talking ill of Gary Franchi, and it would be somebody who worked for Gary Franchi who his ass threw away that ended up stabbing me. And this guy's running around right now. The guy who contributed to me losing my land is a counselor in the mental health field right now in America. And none of you even care about that. And you know it's true. You know you just want entertainment and you're not following through with anything that I'm saying in these videos. You're not trying to keep people accountable. You're not saying, bro, we're watching the Alex Ansary channel and we're not liking what we're hearing about what you did to him. And that's what I want to hear. I want to hear from those of you that you're sending polite, non-threatening sentences saying you're monitoring the situation and you don't like what you're hearing about what you did. Because I swear before Christ, I will never make shit up about these people. I don't want you to do anything to them, but I want you to understand that these people threw me out to dry and sacrificed me and wasted my fucking time. People like Doug Owens of BlackListenNews.com wasted my fucking time and pretended to be my fucking friend. For hours and hours, I drank and smoked with them on the air, on Skype, until 5 o'clock in the morning some nights. Hallucinating, bro, in psychosis that we were friends or something. Talking to people like Mr. Reeves, others that later berated me and said horrible things. I swear before Christ, I've never done anything below the belt to these people. And so, like, you're wrong, America, for just blaming YouTube and Google for censorship. If you want to, like, get upset with censorship and people curtailing free speech, we got plenty of people on the left and right on a list that I can tell you all about. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah? Now, this here is a truth journal. And this truth journal was written, just so you know, between 2018 and 2019. And this truth journal, which is going to be my next masterpiece, is advice for you, the truther. Look, when you're an ethnic truther, you're going to have it more hardcore in America. And if you don't know that, you're a dumb fuck. If you're a white truther, you have way more doors open to you. But just because you're a white truther doesn't mean that you shouldn't go into the underground if you're a servant of God. So if you're a white truther and you don't serve Satan and you're going to expose the New World Order, I'm not saying you can't use your birth name, but I'm encouraging you to do it in a more underground way. If I can turn back time, I'll give it all to you. If I can turn back time, there wouldn't be any Alex Ansary. It would be like, you know, Joe Schmo. I take that back. It was meant to be. So people will know one day when they look up the Ansar, because there are groups out there in Yemen that are using that name, right? And just so you know, I'm not going to cry about it and project fear. There are certain things happening now with Yemen and certain groups, which I predicted. I predicted the possibility that I could be targeted and taken out because of my last name being associated with other groups. And when I talked about this, I was attacked by Alex Jones fans on Patreon. So I was having psychic visions in 2017 of certain groups using the ANSAR name becoming live and active. And I became concerned that you would consider this paranoid and schizophrenic, but we might as well just go full transparency if you're cool with that. You want to go there? Let's do it. I became convinced years ago that I hit the truth so deeply that the New World Order became aware of my existence, hijacked the last name, and created groups to do nasty things using the last name. The first 5 letters. So there's like a whole array of naughty groups, allegedly, that have this name. And I'm like, what the fuck? That was not in existence before September 11th, 2001, that I know of. So are they creating this? Basically, like there's something coming, and I had to tell you in advance before it comes that I took certain risks by coming back to the internet. That's it. And that there are truly evil forces out there on the internet. And if you don't want yourself to be attacked for being white, or what if there was a terrorist out there, you know, that did something and they said it was a white terrorist from a certain place, a certain community, you know, you wouldn't support like a marginalization. And I'm telling you, like, it's normal for me to be gun shy after the Muhammads of the world and whatever, and the 9/11 attacks created circumstances in America for people. And I'm telling you, I'm not convinced it's over, is what I'm saying. A lot of you are acting like we had a 9/11 truth movement, that we woke up and then we like rode off into the sunset and had like some sort of an orgasm and then like woke up to flat earth and like the Islamic invasion. And I'm telling you, that's garbly-goo. It's to the max. If you have not yet seen my 2014 War on Islam episode, I would recommend that you do that. In fact, at the moment that I'm speaking, we're just going to go here and let's take a look at videos. Let's go to Alex Ansary videos. I don't think the episode is loaded on my hard drive at the moment. But it's really important to understand that before Joe Biggs went into Portland, Oregon to fight Antifa, when he brought a lot of folks with him, you know what I mean? I was exposing Joe Biggs in Portland, Oregon. I was discussing him dressing up like a terrorist in 2014 and 15, working for Alex Jones, and then acting like he was a terrorist, basically invading the border, invading the Mexico-U.S. border. And I'm here to tell you that that was a red flag to me. And I began to expose them after that point. But I already knew that they were corrupted. It was already very obvious and clear to me that they were corrupted. So eventually I created the Alex Jones Deception series. So again, Clyde Lewis is now in this network, but initially Clyde Lewis did not like these people in Coast to Coast. And now Clyde Lewis is on his way to Coast in the desert, or Contact in the desert. And it's not crazy to speculate that Clyde Lewis is possibly in contact with the upper management of the people that own Premier Radio Networks. And he may have been plotting this career move all along. And so I do think that it was part of the Clyde Lewis career move to do everything in his power, including magical spells and curses. to negatively influence my life when I was in Portland, and I documented a chapter of that for you. And I gave you basically an overview of the Portland Preparedness Center story. I'm trying to make a decision right now whether to keep recording or whether to stop recording and just let this roll. But I am here to tell you that we are in a high energy period, and that I need to talk for a couple of hours a day for probably the next couple of weeks in a free flow. Okay, I'm not going to do things in a clickbait manner to get you turned on and make you think that this is the show. Every day, it's the Alex Ansary show in today's day. You either tune in or you tune out. We will not do clickbait. You either show up on time like a good boy and girl, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, Hulk Hogan style. You like how I do that? Hulk Hogan! We're going to watch some Ultimate Warrior videos at some point. Like literally, I don't like the man personally because of what he said about Iraqis, but I am a forgiving man. And amen, if you're watching, I would have hung out with your bodybuilder friend in Portland, but let's go back to that. You and I sat down at that Chinese restaurant. And you remember where it was, don't you? It was hung far low, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, on 82nd and Division, and we ordered like some nice Chinese food, and you introduced me to the dude. Even though you were the dude, you gave me the impression you thought this was the dude. And then I gave him a chance, amen. He didn't give me a chance. I gave him my card, and there I am being the masculine man, exposing 9/11, and literally that picture of me with the megaphone that says Alex Ansary on the card, like that is the shit. Because I did not tell the Oregonian who I was megaphoning to take my picture and get my good side and make me look like, whoa, like I'm shooting energy at the camera. That was random how that happened. That was not like, here, let me pose for you. That was like, I couldn't pay you to do it better. So what I'm saying is like that was meant to happen for that spirit to be captured and then put in the newspaper. That picture of Alex Ansary megaphoning Portland was in the physical paper this fucking big. Okay, nobody in the history of Portland, Oregon has a more masculine megaphone pose. They snapped it regardless of me screaming at them. I was screaming at them. I wasn't screaming with them. I was screaming at the biggest paper in Oregon, the Hearst newspaper, Oregonian. No more lies. No more lies. No more lies. No more lies. Over and over and over and over again. And you know who else was there? Steve Baggs was there. Let's talk about Steve Baggs. Steve Baggs was there. Steve Baggs, in a heterosexual manner, basically fell in love with me. And he's like, Alex Ansary. And the dude brought me Molly in 2012. That was awesome, bro. When I had my Molly trip, when that dude came to visit me, Steve Baggs in 2012, because I didn't brag enough about what a decent guy he was, even though he went nutter. Google Steve Baggs, Utah. You see what I mean? That was Alex Ansary's homie. Doesn't reflect negatively on me, bro. Okay? Beat up fucking attacked cop cars, attacked his wife. But let's speculate. What happened to such a nice little boy? Well, let me speculate. And by the way, this is working. I just got to get when I flip the internet back on after I upload this, I'm going to go to eBay and I'm going to buy myself a DC car charger, so I'm going to do a drive-by. People are going to be partying during the eclipse, even areas outside of the path of totality. They're going to be watching on TV screens or something. First of all, this whole look up at the screen shit, look up at the sky, this whole thing, first of all, I'm not feeling great feelings about it. A lot of unconscious people are going to be looking at the sun using special glasses when it goes through an eclipse. And I'm telling you, okay, so the sun's going to be covered, and some sort of a portal is going to open up like the Eye of Sauron, and all your dumbasses are going to be going to places where the solar energy is coming through, and you're looking up. And I'm going, what positive change can you tell me happened after the eclipse in 2017? I'm sorry, what? We had Charlottesville. I was slandered on the internet. You understand what happened to me happened during the eclipse. You understand what I'm saying? Satanism does shit. And I knew that I could be murdered during this eclipse for even daring to come back to you. And I said, forget it. I'm not going to be afraid. I'm going to summon Christ for this one. And if I'm going to be taken out of this world, I'm going to do it with God, 100%. I'm going to stop fornicating with women that hate me. I'm going to stop doing these unconscious things. And I'm going to start praying to God more directly. And I tell you, I took pharmaceuticals when I got off marijuana. Okay, because I began to come under mind control that I needed to get off marijuana. Some of you judge me because you don't have a genetic need for marijuana, so you thought that I was broken because of marijuana. And what the truth was marijuana is like a superfood for me. Like I can create content and content and content and go and go and go like the Energizer Bunny. And so like it's when I don't have my marijuana that I have psychosis. It's when I don't have my marijuana that I want to kill myself. It's when I don't have my marijuana that I'm ready to, flip the table over and smash things, And the withdrawal for me, it never, ever, ever goes away because I have a legitimate medical need for it. And it should even be subsidized. I completely have my own ideas, folks, on reforming the mental health system, reforming the prison system, reforming the public educational school system. Like I have complete awareness of how to fix your world. If I was given one day, no, we need 1 year. If you were to appoint me president of the United States or president of the earth, we're going to clean up the school system. We're going to clean up pornography. All the porn sites are going down first day, and you have to prove that you're an adult. Now, we are going to allow, some of you are going to be opposed to this, real sex education for kids. We're gonna actually teach real sex education for kids. Some of you are going to be opposed to this. Most of you are so nasty and dirty, you don't believe in sex education for kids, and you think that kids should just learn about it in the streets. Having fellatio with nasty men and group sex, and this is why women get raped. This is why women have unhealthy group sex situations. This is why women get trafficked. It's because you people refuse to teach your kids about sex. You're dumb fucks. You people are dumb fucks. If you're not teaching your kid about sex, that includes sex other than butt fucking and fellatio. Like, are you stupid or something? Okay, listen, sex education is not, hey folks, this is how you watch porn or masturbate. This is what intimacy is. I mean, are you a retard? No, you're not a retard. You're going to say, when I say, are you a retard? You're not going to stop and think about it. You're going to go, no, I'm not a retard. Fuck you, dude. I'm smart, bro. Give me a chance, Alex. Don't insult me, bro. Okay, call us on sub right now, bro. That's up to you. But I have to be the hard ass. You need to work on your lift. You need to improve your protein intake. You need to improve your breathing. You need to improve your form. You need to improve your enunciation, which I am working on slowing down in because sometimes that goes too fast. And I'm like the micro machine, like micro machine. Like that's how I was on Coast to Coast. So they're like, okay, this guy is nuts. Just kind of goodbye, Alex. The producer literally, when he let me go, he's like, thanks, Alex. Click. Like George Norrie goes to rebroadcast at like 30 to the end, and I get this like, thanks, Alex. Like, whoa, you sound like that Antifa guy who yelled at me across the street and called me a cop. Thanks, Alex. Hey, Alex. Yeah, fucking producers of Coast to Coast AM, supposedly the biggest radio show in America, can't do the following things. Get ready and take notes. Lisa can't get back to me in a proper time to say, bro, you're confirmed. You're on this date. I had to sit there and wait weeks for weeks and weeks thinking that she looked me up and canceled the interview and stopped talking to me. I literally had to email her and going, are we still on? She's like, yeah, you're still on. What's your bio again? I just sent you the bio in a PDF. Did you not get it? Like, they can't do email, folks. The Gunner can't do email. These people can't do email. Like, bro, the people that are in charge of your world can't do email. Can you fucking hear the Ansary's answers? The people in... Motherfucker, Donald Trump's eating McDonald's, motherfucker. Donald Trump's eating McDonald's. Who fucking thinks this is normal? This isn't fucking normal. And what's Biden doing? Drinking blood? Well, man, I better watch it for the fullest video. And I went looking for that video I did of Biden with the kiddos. I even said to my dad going, you voted for this dude. Look at the kid. He's like, what's wrong with you? You're nuts. You're nuts. I'm not nuts. I'm not nuts. You're nuts. I'm not crazy. You're the one that's crazy. Have you seen that? Have you heard that song from Repo Man? I'm not crazy. You're the one that's crazy. We need music. We have to take a break. I have, okay, just so you know, what's up. I have in the back of my pocket best of synthwave and retro electro. We're going to fire that off now. We're going to get you we're going to do this on the fly. We're going to get you a visual, and I'm going to get myself some fluids.
But on a thunderous night along a ragged coast, a mysterious red car came to him, its power lighting his eyes blood red. flash, all was lost in the hellfire of twisted metal. When our hero emerged from the burning wreckage, he and the car had become one, their souls spliced forever, leaving him to wander the night alone, invisible to everyone but her. In a flash, all was lost in the hellfire of twisted metal. When our hero emerged from the burning wreckage, he and the car had become one, their souls spliced forever, leaving him to wander the night alone, invisible to everyone but her.
years.
Let's
got
go.
no chance, you know that? You know that?
Come on, walk back in here now.
Dad, don't let him fight you, Dad. Remember what you told me. You can do it. I know you can, Dad.
Get
Remember, we're in for the fight of our lives, so get your game face on. I'm going to do everything in my power to inspire you to live and want to live. In order to defeat evil, you must defeat it within yourself. In order to defeat demons outside of you, you must defeat the demon within. That which holds you back, that which puts voices in your head, that which destroys your relationships. You must defeat that demon from within. Either defeat it, or it will defeat you like this man right here. Either you believe you're going to win, or you are going to lose, and lose hard. And you're not going to get a second chance if they come after you and your family. You're not ready to fight. You're not going to get a second chance. You're not going to get a rematch. You have one shot at this. One shot and one shot only. Either you're going to wake up and get ready for the fight of your life, or this world is going to destroy you and those that you created out of your cock or your pussy. Either wake up and make the major changes you need in your life, or this world is going to change you, buddy. Welcome to the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. You don't need Alex Jones. You don't need Donald Trump. You don't need George Norrie. You need to get in the ring yourself. You've had 15 years now of schooling. There is no excuse for you not to graduate to higher levels. You have no excuse for being a QAnon junkie. You have no excuse for being a white supremacist. You have no excuse for being an Islamic supremacist. Only wanting to hear things that are only in Afghani or Arab. If I'm listening, or any of you Ansary folks are listening, you need to change your ways. You need to change your strategy. You need to learn from the scene. You need to go over the top. You need to stop taking shit. You need to train in the same way that Stallone trains in his truck, pushing that weight, mimicking the move. You must also train and build that psychological muscle of speaking truth to power and developing such a powerful magnetic field around your body this April 8th that no one and nothing of the dark side comes at you or wants to even be around you or even talk to you. You must develop a field of godliness that's so powerful, nobody will donate to you, nobody will talk to you, nobody will like your post if they are on the dark side. We must purge this Antichrist consciousness which even exists within the mainstream church. This do as thou wilt. Don't talk about the teachings of Christ, but just say, do you bow down to this, that, and the other? But don't talk about the love vibration. There's nothing in the Bible that justifies white nationalism. There's nothing in the Bible that justifies white nationalism. There's nothing in the Bible that justifies white nationalism. Fight the ignorance. Fight anti-white racism. Fight anti-white bigotry and expose the unconscious, we won't say evil, the unconscious actions of those that came before you that set the stage for what is now happening here. Let me tell you what I think about alcohol. Coming next, right? We're gonna have a watermelon here. It's gonna be like that Gallagher guy, like Wah! Right there, right through the unconscious cord between us and Shaitan. Samurai sword, like sever that cord between us and the devil. You could do it. Alrighty, let's go ahead and, so, frankincense and myrrh are both approved in the Bible. Not that I think the Bible is 100% pure, you know where I stand on that. But you might be curious, so Alex, we heard you running your mouth and shit about a new holy book. Bro, you ain't shit. You don't need to write a new holy book. Oh, I disagree. We're going to talk about it. Breaker 19, this is Red Dragon, warning you of the upcoming Chinese invasion. You found the station, you found the man that's going to give you the accurate information that you need. You are commanded by the Creator to monitor this channel on a regular basis for the day that comes in which your grid goes down, because yours truly will be the master blaster, will be the educator of this region, North America. And not only that, I'm encouraging other people across America to get involved in the Real Truth movement. I'm going to give a brief speech right now describing what I'm about and let me make sure I'm on the right channel. Where am I? I am on... Okay, we're on 21. Now, I heard that there's some sort of an accessory that goes with this specific model. If you know certain accessories that I need with this specific GE 1994 era 40 channel like operation, let me know. Now, I just got a DC charger for this, and as I told you, I'm going to get, when I flip online, I'm going to get the DC 12 volt charger for this so I can listen in my car and have the megaphone. Okay, so I've got the megaphone, I've got the CB radio. I'm probably missing, I think we all agree that I'm missing a dash cam. We need to get a dash cam. That way I can drive around megaphoning and communicating on the CB radio at the exact same, that might be too much. But you see where I'm going with this. And so, what am I thinking about doing coming up? Because we're heading towards this point, aren't we? We're heading towards this point to where we are facing EMP, we are facing attacks from Russia and China, and so I encourage everybody out there to start their own YouTube channel, go out during the eclipse, even if you're out of the path of the totality. People are going to be acting a fool, people are going to be being drunk. But there's going to be an aspect of human consciousness that's going to be like, bing! I recommend you get a fucking device and you avoid ever looking like Antifa. But if there's a way that you can hide your identity for your facial recognition, and if you're an expert on disappearing and never being found and being a real truther like they live, I will be your coach. all of us can be found from the government, but are we prepared to go into the real underground to where we just disappear into the wilderness, or with other off-gridders that have the spirit of the Underground Railroad? You know what I'm talking about, Underground Railroad for the future, where the patriots and truthers don't just be left or right, but people that spoke the truth about the world that we're in now may need an Underground Railroad. Now, one person said you can come to Northern California if you need it, and that's fine, but I don't have the greatest feeling about Northern California. But if things don't fall apart, I'm willing to come to Northern California to hang out because I want to be in Northern California to visit those natural areas. I heard it's bad now. There's been fires in Cartel, but some of you that may have land or an ability to get land, I totally want to go to Northern California. I would be willing to even meet some of you if you go back to Northern California that were previously haters if you prove to me that your vibration changes in the coming year to two. I'll have coffee with you, bro, and we'll do it at Starbucks in San Francisco if I end up being called to San Francisco, Sacramento area. I'm not feeling it right now, but I'm not saying it'll never happen. So let's say and pray that my projections about the future are wrong. I want to go to Sacramento to see something more beautiful than this. But I know that Sacramento is a screwed up place. I want to go to New York. I've been invited to go to New York, but I don't feel that I would be safe in New York. I think that the people that invited me to New York aren't very smart because they don't realize that I have a history of being punched in the face by black thugs. Not because of something that I did in a past life, but because I'm a light being, and a lot of them are programmed to hate Arabic or Middle Eastern people or to see them as those that traded them as slaves. Okay, and Afghans aren't Arabs. I explained that to you. So, even if I have white KKK ancestors, which I do, and Freemasons, which some of you do too, that doesn't mean that I am to blame for my white ancestry. And neither are you, and neither are you, and neither are you, as long as you are not currently a part of the problem. And I hope people like this, just imagine this world, people like Isaac Pankey are running around with a gun when this dude tried to hurt me as a child. Okay? This dude tried to hurt me as a child, this Isaac Pankey guy, and yet he ended up never becoming a felon. And so when he shot a man in 2010, he didn't go to the pen because he had a legal right to own a gun. And I'm telling you, bro, that's not awesome at all. G-Man needs to correct what he did with Mike Blue Hair. And I'm going to stop short of saying anything dumb myself. But I'm just letting you know, I don't do anything that's outside the box of what I can do with regards to protecting myself. It's all within the hands of God if God allows me to be harmed. You know what I mean? And I've said that years ago, many, many years ago when I was on the land, that I wasn't armed. And I'll let you know something. I started to see a woman briefly that offered to hook me up or hook a brother up. And this was not something that I went along with. I didn't want to risk the consequences legally of being hooked up with, And when I did go to Costilla County, Ryan McPherson was nice enough for a month to say, hey, maybe this should be, accessible to you in the event that they, and it was around 2012. And what it was, quite the thing. And he ended up repossessing that thing real quick. He's like, yeah, you know what? It was like that girl from Matt TV. You know what? I'm not actually going to make sure that you live forever. I'm actually going to put you down later and ditch you. And tell you that my white wife hates you and knows you have issues. It's just really incredible. The Costilla County Pagosa Ryan McPherson household. Hope things are well up in the hills for you. I think it's really naive to think that you can prevent forest fires by being Satanists and tribalists. Just an honest opinion. Satanists, tribalists, drunkards. And I also want to take back unconscious things that I said yesterday about how the A-man should have done this and slapped my dad and went after Bruce's house. More like the A-man should have rolled up and here, we're going to go back to music videos, and then we'll come back to our speech. So I take back my things I say in anger because I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy. Okay, other people, not a good boy. I'm a good boy. So I will take things. Let's see if this gets pulled from YouTube. I will take back unconscious things in anger. But you gotta understand, you're witnessing right now on a man erupting when the solar flares are erupting. Let's listen to the music that the A-man bounced people out of the nightclub to. Your ass is grass. Your ass is grass.
workaholic.
Astral City.
So I just don't know.
Man finds himself in hell. Man finds himself in hell. Astral City. Have you ever been here? In the dark of night? Bright moonlight. After too much alcohol. Ha ha ha.
Workaholic.
Yeah, you don't want to go to this place, folks. This is Valhalla. Is this Valhalla? To Valhalla! This is the white supremacist heaven. You are now about to become an Afghani. You are now to become an Iraqi. Get ready to be an Arab. Get ready to be an Arab. Get ready to be an Arab in the New World Order. You want to fuck with us? You want to destroy us? Get ready to be an Arab in 2050. Get ready to be an Arab in 2070. Get ready to be exterminated in 2080. It's coming, folks. You want to fuck with the best? Get knocked out like the rest. By God, you will not defeat the light. You will be cast into the abyss for what you have done. You will not escape your karma. It is coming. And it's in that place where you remember my words. It's in that place where you remember my teaching. How to get out of this place. I helped you before you died. Let's talk about this holy book.
Cause there's much crowd. Microphone check as I choose my route. I'm playing on the road, I've got no fear. The sound from my mouth is a rap you hear. No valley too deep, no mountain too high. Reach the top, touch the sky. You try to diss me cause I sell out. I'm making techno and I am proud.
Okay, so we're back. How you like that? You like that? All right, it's actually time for me to like get the hell out of here, guys. But Energizer Bunny. So we did our CB radio. Nobody there. We have our notebook here. My next project is going to be kicking some ass with this next paperback. What was in here came into spirit, into my body while living off grid. This is why I came under attack. Again, I was contacted by a person who acts like he wants to hang out, and I doubt you're watching the videos, dude. But when I was there, I heard you, and I know that you beat the living shit out of your girlfriend. And so I don't respect you for that. I don't respect white men, black men, brown men that beat women. And I don't hate, but I really am resentful towards all the women that are watching me now that won't even take the time to say thank you for being a real man. You're not doing that. It's only one guy named Patrick who gave me kudos in the last, and he may have his own opinions, like Alex could do this and that, but he seems to be an upstanding person so far. But you'll never know that just by guessing on the internet. Don't trust your brain. Folks, understand, I'm not to blame for being angry with internet folks, and you're not to blame for also being angry with me or internet folks, because you have been screwed over for a long, long time by a lot of YouTubers that are full of fucking shit, dude. That's why I'm very careful who I watch. And by the way, if you want to know what a nasty dude I am sometimes, I thought that woman was cute for a while named Gucci's. Type in Gucci's. How'd I find out about that girl? Eli Ritchie. Because Eli Ritchie liked her too. We both liked that drunk white girl, like to scream the word N-word. We both maybe thought that maybe she needed to become a little bit more conscious, stop saying the N-word, and be a little girl, and stop hanging out with those drunk white boys that treat her like a fuck toy. And that's basically what happened to Goat Cheese. Type in Goat Cheese. Type in Goat Cheese in that RV group that Eli Ritchie documented. Eli, I'm sorry if I snap at you. I told Keith Davis, though, that what he said to me hurt my feelings. And Keith Davis didn't reply. So I did address, right, those messages that Keith sent me during the SOAR flares, in which he blew up and he kicked me below the belt and he called me racist. And I said, bro, your words hurt and I'm not racist. And here's this video of me calling out Antifa. Antifa, came after him. He doesn't even care about me megaphoning Antifa, and he looks down upon me for buying weed from him in 2014 or 15 and holds it over me and says over and over, your life would have been destroyed and nothing if you had not had me to buy weed from. This is his thinking. And he's living all expenses and he thinks I'm jealous of him. I'm basically saying I want to be in Portland too, and there's no way, bro, there's no way I can come to Portland and get housing now. That's not true. There's not true. If you know of something I do, and they'll let me apply. But you have to go there first and be homeless to get on a list. I can't get on a list for housing in Portland and not be in Portland and be homeless. You guys know this, right? You guys know this, right? I made videos about this, but you don't watch it. Then you get angry with me when I assert myself. I clearly explained to you, motherfuckers, that they give everything to dope fiends that ain't from Portland. Some of them are straight up Nazis, which you said, Keith. You said there were Nazis in Portland, and then I said there were Nazis in Portland. And guess what, Keith? Because I'm influenced by your thinking, there's homeless people in Portland that won't talk to me right now, because I'm talking about things from a perspective that they're not used to. Jim won't return my emails in Portland, Oregon, and he said he would help me get on the air in Portland, Oregon. But because I'm critical of the left-right paradigm, Antifa, Portland, and this, unless he's sick or something, dude just decided to wash his hands of me, and I did nothing to Jim. I actually said to Jim, if you, right? But let's just be frank about this. Jim has a history of throwing away Alex Ansary. Jim and Bill Olson both have a documented history of walking away from Alex Ansary, as well as E. the Fairy, who's humping on a man right now who probably hasn't done anything out of his whole life to expose shit. But the one good thing about E had a level of sexuality that was high enough that a man that she had sexual relations with, okay, I'm going to tell you something about this woman, even if I haven't been happy with her and she broke my heart. Let me tell you about this woman. Her intentions were good. Her ex, blonde-haired, blue-eyed boyfriend of 6'2" helped yours truly in her apartment build my first website. A woman who I had my first loving sexual relationships with that didn't have prostitute energy, that had love goddess energy, who I wanted to be my wife or the mother of my kids, but she was definitely not down for that. But I have an energy to me that is a good man if a good woman would want that. But we're not in a day and age in which good men like me are wanted, but bad boys. And the more women you have sex with, the more sexual you will be to women, and the less women you have sex with. Where right now, intentionally, my penis and my body is purified of sex with women for 7 years. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that I don't go to nightclubs and have sex with random women that are passed out drunk. I've done this shit, dude. Not drunk, but going to bed drunk or drinking alcohol and then having sex, which is not good. Why not be sober? Your libido and your orgasm is so much more powerful and euphoric when you fuck without drugs. Anyways, sorry, you probably weren't ready for that. It very much, the relationship between you and me is very much like Michael Jackson. No, I'm sorry. Michael J. Fox. Want to correct that one. No, Michael J. Fox, when he's like, na 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 na, and Back to the Future, where he's like, that might be a bit much for you guys, but your kids are going to love it. So, again, we need to just hit this point right now. So what is it, Alex, that you would do differently than holy books? And I'm just going to talk for a couple minutes, shut up, and then talk about it further, and then talk about what's in this, and then we're going to stop talking at 2 hours, and I'm just going to walk away from the internet, email, shut off the internet, and not talk to you, and just let this go out there. Okay, thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not create in the New Age movement arguments for why Afghanis were murdered, be it their karma. So everything Carl Simonton told my mom has to be upgraded DNA-wise. So even if something is a child's karma, you should then teach your child to overcome that karma if you perceive them to have negative karma. It's kind of like turn off the stove and turn off the water. It's kind of like wipe your butthole after you poop. It's like kind of common. So if you're like, it's the karma, it's the karma, it's the karma, it's the karma, but you don't actually teach that child how to improve their karma, and you're not psychic enough to actually tell them what karma that is, then you're just being, for lack of a better word, I don't want to use an expletive, but an expletive thug who's trying to fuck my mom. That's what you are, Carl. You're an expletive thug from the ghetto who's trying to stick your dirty penis in my mother's body. That's what you are. When you threaten to kill me, when my mother refuses to condemn your fake channeled messages, it makes me suspect that my mother even views you as more human than her son, that being a black male of high sexuality, right? But her son being a little half inward boy because of what her former husband did to her, being my dad, she will view a white man and a black man as higher value than her fucking little boy, right? That's incredible. And so my mother is going to have to get out of the lower realms of Astral City if she really is worse than what I think as far as damage. You need to overcome your mental illness while still in physical form is what was told to me by someone whose aspects of psychicness I trust now. And this advice from this psychic, other than Leon, okay, was that you have to overcome, Alex, your issues while still in physical form. If not, you risk coming back here, dude. And you've been here a lot, and it needs to stop. You need to stop coming. You need to stop coming. And that's why I thought, folks, that I had to leave the internet, was to disconnect from you, pull my videos off the internet, leave the internet, get you to forget about me. But in reality, I was crying. In reality, I'm about to cry now. In reality, the song in my head was, don't you forget about me. Don't you forget about me. And it really hurt my feelings to see people talking about me like I was dead. I don't appreciate that fucking shit, bro. I don't appreciate people talking about me like I was dead. Don't appreciate stupid ass fucking sluts who I fucked in 2013 going, I'm going to file a missing persons report. Woman, I told you to get the fuck away from me and stop talking to me. Okay? It's because of people like you that you as a truther are not authorized to take your clothes off and have sex with women who you do not fucking know, dumbass. Okay? You're a fucking retard. If you're going to fuck every woman that emails you and go see them, they don't like you, dumbass. When are you ever going to wake up? Your mother don't like you. Your sister don't like you. Okay? Your cousins don't like you. Anna fucking hates your ass. White power, white power! And all you're fucking trying to do is warn these white people about China. And all they keep screaming is white power, or denying that they're doing it. It's... Can I get an amen? 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 Okay? You have no right to just sit there and keep your mouth shut while you're sitting there in a truck and you're receiving a cosmic transmission with the man with the cosmic punch that can take out Sean Nagel with a one driver in 10, 15 seconds. You understand what I'm talking about, hillbilly boy? You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Because I'm not happy with you, bro. I'm not happy with you. Okay, so thou shalt not kill and thou shalt not rape women and kidnap women is the cornerstone of the AA book. And if you look at the current world religions, they in some cases say that shit, but put your money where your mouth is. But are your followers, Muslims, Christians, Jews, murdering and saying, we're holy, we're holy, we're holy, you know, shake that titty, shake that ass, show me what you're working with. But are you the real deal? Are you the real McCoy? Are you really exposing murder, or are you justifying murder under the guise of defending yourself? So under the guise of defending yourself, you commit genocide, and if someone criticizes Israel's response, they're bad. And there is no genocide. First of all, I'm anti-Jew hate, And I'm anti-white person hate and anti-hate, but these current things are just going to create more hate of Jews. And while I don't hate Jews, I do recognize that 2 out of 3 Jews that I've talked to in the last 90 days are out to lunch. They're actually all a little bit out to lunch because they're all probably being psychically attacked and targeted because there's an aspect of them that has the spark or the light. That's a term Gypsy Fox, who's Jewish, uses a lot, the spark. I agree with a lot of what Gypsy Fox has to say. But Gypsy Fox still, doing the shedding theory, upsets me on a fraction level. But the goodness of Gypsy outweighs my criticism of Gypsy. However, when we talked about Gunner and Mike Bluehair and Aaron, these people don't have 1/10 of what Gypsy Fox has going on with him and his spirituality, even if he's a little angry about the vax. I guess we'll find out soon enough, like how serious the thing is. With the next thing, I just don't agree yet with the shedding theory, and the 5G causes it, but I don't agree we should take it, but we should pray for the people that took it, for them to have a healing. And for the people that pressured them, not for them to die, but for them to have, like, you know, I do think about Ghost Rider a lot. It was one of my favorite comic books as a kid, was Ghost Rider. And it's the idea of staring, because that's what I say. I'm not, let me be real clear. I hear myself back and I'm like, Alex, that didn't come out right. I didn't say I want to go to hell, but I did, but I didn't mean it like that. I mean, like, on my way to heaven, I just want to clean up the earth a little bit for God. That's what I meant. So, like, there's a hell dimension, which might even be our dimension. Recycling people back here could be hell. Yeah, you hear? And people coming back, it's not me being malicious if like someone participated in genocide for them to reincarnate as a brown man. It's not being vicious. And then if you want to say that brown men are going to inherit the earth and shit, and white people are going to be like strung up by their, you know, whatever, and then the white men are going to rule and be jumped up and down like Bull Young and Bloodsport and shit, going, ah, you know, like that type of thing, you know? No, that's not what I see at all. And so there is healing that you can choose to do with me. I don't think that I'm going outside of what God wants for you to say that because I'm the point man for raising awareness to what's happening in Afghanistan. I'm a point man. I'm a man of a heritage on a planet of 8 billion who is willing to say the things that need to be said rather than conforming to what a simpleton Afghani or white woman wants. Okay, so white women and Afghani women don't like me because I call out the dark feminine rising. And I don't just blame men or white men or Trump or Biden, right? So thou shalt not be turned on by men that kill others, and that women that are cool with murders. A male sexuality has to be reeled in. And if you have children, there's a way to raise your children. So there has to be a greater thou shalt not kill movement. In my holy book, there is power in prayer and meditation. In my holy book, praying for your enemies is something that you do on a vibrational level, but you don't praise your enemies in public, though. A lot of people are so under mind control, they say love your enemies. They're really saying give your enemies power and don't fight Satan. To love your enemies, you also need to tell your enemies that what they've done is wrong. So, okay, if I love my enemies, then I'm going to go on YouTube and not expose by name the people that harm me, and I'm going to speak principles, not personalities, and not dox anyone, basically. Not even the dude that made videos saying I'm a criminal on the run. I won't even dox him. He said, take my name out of it, bro. You're hurting me. Okay, I'll take your name out of it, and we'll leave it between God. But you need to come to Jesus. You never came to Jesus, and you are another fake Christian. There's no way, bro, you're Christian and that you believe in Jesus, and you knowingly did what you did to me, now that I've shown you the tape of the robbery of 3. So the fact that you guys are saying you're anti-criminal gone wild, but yet you support a guy who's a leftist on top of it, associated with food, not bombs, assaulting me or taking my camera and then lying about it and saying that he had a broken leg. Folks, if that dude had a broken leg, he would have been screaming bloody murder. If that dude would have been attacked the way Bull Young snapped that dude's leg in Bloodsport, there would have been shit happening with the cops that second. Nothing happened for weeks. Not a single one of you has sent your condolences for me losing my land or feeling that it was unsafe for me to stay on my land, basically being labeled a criminal on the run. Those of you, and I also took snapshots, just so you know, of people that lived in Costilla County showing compassion and love for people that are charged of crimes. They had their mugshots put on Facebook. Now, their mugshots were put on Facebook for crimes they were accused of, not found guilty of, and people emerge in the comment section to say that why are you putting their faces on Facebook? You're going to humiliate them and cause them to kill themselves. So I have witnessed, folks, just so you and I have transparency, humans showing human emotion to humans that have been slandered that are of the Hispanic and white heritage. Okay, are you with me now? But when it happened to me on a grand scale that was put out on YouTube, none of you, there was a few of you that commented a little bit, and I appreciate that, but it was very, very minimal. And there was hardly any of you that wrote a blog or an article saying, Alex probably stopped talking to his audience because of these horrible things that happened to him that YouTube helped out in. Like, YouTube will actually intervene in situations when the policies are in violation. And so you can say certain videos violate the terms of service of YouTube, but if YouTube staff, and what I felt intuitively, just so you know, was that YouTube moderator staff may be Hindu extremists. There may be Hindu extremists that are actually moderating behind the scenes. It may not be just white men. You know what I'm saying? And I do think that there is a coordination between Hindu extremism and white supremacy. And if you do your digging in white supremacist groups, they actually have what you would call maybe an inward pass for East Indians, as their new inward, to do the dirty work. But they really don't like East Indians, I don't think. But they'll give them a pass and allow an East Indian to run for the GOP against Trump to kind of raise up this idea that East Indians are different and better than, say, Arabs or Muslims, right? So you have, when you go to Netflix, you see East Indian movies, you see Bollywood. If you like to jerk off to porn, you're seeing the rise of Indian women with a dot on their head getting the gangbang and such, right? So that's not freedom, folks. That's not love. You understand? And I said earlier, if a woman wants to have, say, a gangbang with a group of men that are not sociopathic, that really will high-five each other and not have a fight amongst each other over who gets to insert their penis in, I'm saying that I don't completely look down upon promiscuous behavior if there's love in more than one partner. I want to be clear on that. But in this current reality, it's going to be very rare for there to be a tribal structure of powerful men and women that are not going to become butthurt when they see somebody else with their partner, myself included. We almost have to be brought into a world in which we're taught that women are not property, including the women. So the women and the men both have to agree that we are not sex objects, that we are not property from birth, right? And that domestic abuse should not be allowed, has to be corrected. You don't currently have a system in place in America to heal domestic violence. What you have is a monetary tax system that will continue to give free housing to all types of women that claim that they were abused. And so because of this institutional domestic violence system that the women are riding with, there's this rescue system that they can just run to. After they go from bad man to bad man to bad man, they can then go into a system to where their housing is taken care of. And they think now that they're free in a major U.S. city. But they're not free. They're living next to scumbags. They're living next to lowlifes. And they were brainwashed by the welfare system into thinking that it's a smart thing to leave your husband, to leave your children on the West Coast, to move to the largest cities in North America, all under the guise of the Enlightenment. The also really tragic thing about the New Age movement and New Agers from the 80s, like my mom and others, is their refusal to acknowledge not only were they lied to about the year 2000 being this period of the Great Ascension. Now they call it the Great Awakening with QAnon. So when you hear people use the terminology Great Awakening, you are dealing with retard dumb fucks that don't have 1% of spirituality within them. When you hear this term, quote, the Great Awakening, in quote, the Great Awakening. That's QAnon. That's fake conspiracy. Donald Trump, Messiah, worshiping gargly goo. Okay, that's not spirituality. The Great Awakening is Satanism. Okay, unsubscribe now if you hate brown people. Unsubscribe now if you deny white supremacy exists. Okay, because you will face the lower astral realms for your simultaneously denying that white supremacy exists and allowing weapons of mass destruction to kill a third world while you stand down with your video games, with your porno videos and your Pornhub and your BitChute accounts. Oh, gotta love them BitChute accounts. Now, a person that will remain unnamed did not impress me by going, bro, I'm going to go hang out with people that hate your ass. Here are their links. Are we all family? No, we're not family, bro. That's great. They like you as white men liking white men, but I'm not a white man who calls out white supremacy. So these folks hate my ass, you dig? And if you're a Portlander with appreciation for unique Pacific Northwest vibrations, don't be a feminized pushover. Be a real man and tell these men they're not very kind. Don't bring up my name, but say, bro, I sent people your way and you did not treat them with respect, and that reflects on me. The fact that I sent them your way and you talk down to them. Doesn't matter who they are, what their name is. I don't want you bringing up my name because I don't want to know these fucks. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't want to know fucktards that don't have respect for me. So when I send that dude in New Mexico who has his off-grid cult, and he looks at my videos and he's like, bro, you talk too much. I know he does not have empathy, and I looked at his videos and I've seen him attacking people. You understand what I'm saying? I've seen that dude that you sent me to. So all that reflects on the person that sent the video to begin with. If you don't properly screen through their content and go through their Twitter feed and make sure there's nothing overtly hateful about them, don't fucking bother me, because I won't talk to you if you're going to be associated with right-wing nutbags. We're not going to talk ever again until you address the situation. You people need to stop sending me in the direction of other unstable people that you yourself have not screened out. Okay, you need to understand and accept this and listen like you've never listened before. Just because they respect you as a non-content creator who's white doesn't mean they're going to respect me as a non-white content creator who doesn't believe in Trump. You understand? So I accept tons of you are accepting me for being me, but you both like me and Trump. And you need to take accountability for the fact that Trump has targeted my heritage. And you're not being forthright. You're not repenting of the whole ban the Muslims thing. You need to heal this with me to move forward. You need to heal this telepathically that you people voted for a man that wanted to ban my dad's family from the U.S. And until you acknowledge that and realize that you would never see me ever and respect me if I supported white women and white men being deported. Like, why would you? Like, seriously, why would you? Like, bro, why would you? Like, why would you? Like, if I was on, say, a cell phone, and I was on, say, an app, and the corporation that owned that app was putting white people in concentration camps and gang raking them in the ass and then covering up and lying about it and shit, do you think that I would be on your side if I had a ByteDance TikTok account? Like, right now, if you're on TikTok, you're the devil to me. You can be like, oh, bro, but I like you. Yeah, but you're still the devil because you're on the devil's playground. You're acting like you're my friend, but you're not. You're actually putting me in danger for watching me on your phone and watching TikTok because China's watching your ass. You are under surveillance from the Chinese government if you're on TikTok. You're a stupid woman if you have a TikTok account. I just want to be clear what I think about you. If you have, hypothetically, a TikTok account, you are lower than the average human being as far as consciousness. And you have no morality within you. You're like a cum guzzler slut or something. I don't know. Tell me what it is. You're not a loving woman if you have a ByteDance corporation TikTok app on your phone. They kidnap the Uyghurs in China and they spy on the family members in other countries because they have access, including America, through the Chinese police stations to go after family members of those in the camps. So if the people in the camps want to complain, they'll go after your family. So you're saying you deny this is happening? Okay, I'm going to ask that if you're on TikTok right now and you want to keep things energetically safe between us, that at the moment that you hear me speaking, you deactivate your TikTok app. And then you immediately send me an email saying, Alex, I took down my TikTok because you are a real man and you have convinced me to come to Christ in a real sense, in which my pastor at my church in the South, in Mississippi, wherever you went last month, will not. I will go where your pastor will not. There's none of your pastors that know more about the devil's attack on your world than me. I am superior to them. That doesn't mean that I'm an Ansary Nagel Lewis supremacist. However, there's aspects of supremacy ideology that I now welcome in. But I don't want you to be oppressed as opposed to, I'm going to be supreme and you're going to be in the non-ethno state camp or you're going to be in the non-party state. You're actually, let's go back to healing the world. In the Holy Book, merging the reform the system with the new Holy Book ideas. There's going to be reformed prisons. The old prison system is going to be destroyed. The old education system is going to be destroyed. Women and men are going to learn about sexual morality regarding sex and not cheating, and they're going to learn about spiritual parasites before they learn about coming to orgasm. Do you understand what I'm saying? Before a child learns how to jerk it to an orgasm, which is fine, but teach them how to do it in a healthy way, you're going to learn about sexual morality and how to pick a good partner. Women, if they're going to be exploratory, are going to learn maybe a safe way of getting multiple male and female partners if they're hell-bent on, say, what's called a gangbang, right? Now, when I was 15 or 16, I didn't really know the girl, but she wanted to come over and rip off her clothes before a bunch of men, but do the whole don't touch. She liked to get the men incited, aroused, and then put on the clothes and then take off. And this is not, I know that women really get off by it, taking the clothes off, getting men turned on, and then denying them sex and feeling good from that, and then like leaving them with a hangover. And it's just something that I would consider to be in the category of risque, being that there's so much sexual assault porn that promotes women being taken basically off into the wilderness and having an infinite number of men have their way with them. Also, with regards to violent adult content, you know, there's reasons why I don't like it, even if I've relapsed. And there are animations out there that feature men in black uniforms raping white women to death. Okay, so there's whites and blacks that are featured raping white women to death. So this constant psychosis of only calling out Islam or refugees and then acting like black men and white men are gods with golden penises is super satanic. Okay, so wrapping things up, this said the way of purification, okay? Therefore, those who do good deeds and notice how I opened this up an hour and a half ago and only now we're talking about it? Therefore, those who do good deeds and maintain a peaceful mind only when their surroundings are satisfactory are not really good people. Only those who have received the Buddhist teachings, have trained their minds and bodies by teachings can be called truly good, modest, or peaceful people. Okay? So, we'll talk more in the future about this holy book rewrite, but a lot of it's going to come out through this. Okay? And this, I'm going to read this page and close. This book was written before I started the Solar Wars 2025 book. Okay, so I started this, and in the middle of this, I was attacked by black magicians and YouTube profiles I will no longer mention in hopes that they will heal and stop being defensive to me and fearing me that I'm going to do something bad to them. No, they did something bad to me, and I'm choosing to not retaliate, and that's that they come to Jesus. We're talking about Dean, we're talking about others that I won't name that went to other places outside of California that did cause me adverse mental health problems. Absolutely. They fucked my brain up when they made me feel like a target in Pagosa. Absolutely. And there's not a single therapist or anybody that ever had any book training to know how to fix me. And then I got angry with the A-Man and my mom because they have not really sent their condolences for what happened to me. And so there's a lot of unresolved anger towards A-Man, my mom, my dad's family, like you right now, you. I want to thank the guy that sent the emails and the donations and just remind him that if you can't donate, you're cool because you already did and you haven't done anything with malice. But you understand I'm gun shy, though, with everybody else. And then one guy donated a couple $100. He really elevated my dopamine because he was the first veteran that I knew to donate or be kind. And then he said, "You think you look Middle Eastern? Bro, you're so fucking ill. You're like Italian and shit." So, like, an inability to Google the last name, Ansary, isn't my problem. Okay? Like, if you literally think I made this shit up out of my asshole, that I'm connected to the third world or something, that's next level, bro. That's next level white supremacy. Good luck with that one. So we're going to read one page on this, and then I'm going to physically make myself shut the fuck up, turn the internet on, and then stop talking completely for maybe another day until the next video. So we're going to read this. I don't know what's on this page, but we're going to read this, and then eventually this is going to be in paperback. So let's begin. And then I need to, nature is calling, bro. It's screaming. The reptilian, cold-hearted nature to the human truth speaker of mixed race is the biggest wake-up call that something has fallen. The missing divine feminine or mother could be literal and metaphoric for a planetary reality or motherless world where only in the dark feminine rise can be seen. A world where concern for humanity's spirit is called racism or misogyny. Today, tribalists are shielding themselves from exposure by gaslighting the people affected that have the consciousness to communicate their truth. The tribalists and fake spiritualists would be famous for ignoring the wisdom of the sun, a frail, egoic state sensitive to being told any truth from any human in the form of a modern untouchable, like the Indian system. I am a untouchable in America. So some of you simultaneously point to others, call them untouchables, then became infuriated when someone identifies themselves to be labeled untouchable. It's horrifying. And many of you need to repent. All sides denied creating, as all sides created one man, had any truth for them about the sun's impact on their world. The ego would feel threatened to their intellects after appeared incompetent or their hearts blackened. And I want to keep reading and keep writing. So the next project is for me to write you a sampler of this, right? And then give you the option of becoming a member for $8 a month to read this in its entirety. And so you get to read my blogs in their entirety for free as Substack members. Okay? And then later in a couple months, it's going to be available for like $10, a fatty book. And I'm going to encourage you to get a fatty Alex Ansary book for $10. If you're willing to throw donation money at me, even if Amazon keeps a cut, I'm going to ask that you diversify your expenditures on me, and that you, at minimum, purchase the physical goods and items that I bring to life. So there will be donation options forever, I guess. There's only a few, right? You notice that I don't have a million donation options and that I cut myself. You do know this, right? That I can have a Cash App and I'm just not doing it. But I'm going to ask that out of what you allocate to me, that you make minimum, that you all get copies of my books, and that you tell everybody in your town, if your town's people are good, about me. We'll see you next time. My email is, I don't know what it is. I threw it away.